Hello ladies and gentle ladies, welcome back to another Industria development stream. Today we're going to be working once again on the Centrifugal Concentrator. And yeah, we've got some 3D modeling to do today, so we need to go ahead and actually create the model since we haven't done that yet. Hello Lime, welcome to the stream, and hello 7410, welcome to the stream. I'm just loading up the game so that we can see where we were at. So I think we've done everything code-wise, I think, but that's why I'm loading up, so that I can check. Alright, so let's switch away from the starting soon screen. There we go. And so, actually, one second. Let me quickly do something. Yes. Here we go. Let me just remove this from there so that doesn't end up doxing me later on or something. Okay. Okay, we're all good. Hello Wide, welcome to the stream. So yes, here we are in the game. Let's briefly go over what we have. So this is basically the Centrifugal Concentrator here. It's a 3x3x3. It takes water in the top. It will also take in an item input in the top, which will be the concentrate. And then effectively it will output down the bottom a slurry, which here is a clay slurry, and then also concentrate as well. So it looks weird because it's concentrate to concentrate, but that's because we need to add like an actual concentration to this. We can do that later on. And this also uses, once again, an insane amount of energy, which is what we were talking about last time. You sound better, stay loud. Great news. Yes, I am a lot better today. I think it's pretty much all gone. I'm still a little bit scratchy, but it's much better, yeah, than it was yesterday, which is why I didn't stream yesterday. But we're all good today, and we have some 3D modeling to do. So yeah, let's basically, I think, just do that. I need to find the image that I have up on screen, so I can actually have that in my browser, because on the stream it's a little bit small for me to look at, and I need this as a good like reference image. Now I actually don't want it to be exactly the same as what it looks like on the screen, because I want you to actually be able to see it do something, and the one on screen you can't because the top is closed off, which makes sense, but I'm going to be coughing a lot, by the way, guys. I hope you are prepared for this. I definitely still do have a cough every so often, so that'll be fine. But anyways, I want you to be able to actually see through the top, so we are going to be modeling it slightly different. I realized I just closed that again. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do, because yeah, code wise you can see that this is all done. There's nothing else to do there. It is just the model and then also the actual renderer itself, which should be trivial, because I think we're just basically going to have a spinning thing, right? This thing is going to spin. That's going to be it. I don't know exactly how we're going to do that, because obviously cubes and cubes spinning doesn't really work, so I don't know. We'll have to come up with something for exactly how that's going to work, but I think we can basically go ahead and give it a go. So workbench, of course. Here we are. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the game, because we don't need that to be running right now. Oops, I meant to close it. if it maybe wants to actually close. It's probably not going to. I'm probably going to have to end task. So let's end task. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now we have block bench. Shall I also get rid of the reference image or no? I think I'll leave it around for now. So we need to create a modded entity. We need to select fabric 1.17 plus, and everything else will be fine because we can fix those later. Let's create a main group to get started. Now it's 3 by 3 by 3, so we can actually use this 3 by 3 grid here. That's actually going to be perfect for what we want. And this isn't really going to have like a rotational difference. It's going to be effectively the same in all rotations, but it is going to be rotatable because the model will be slightly different, but there's no like front per se. So I'm probably going to put it like, I'm trying to think exactly how big I want this to be, because obviously it needs to fit within a 3 by 3 by 3 space, but that doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be exactly 3 by 3 by 3. So I think I'm going to go to here, and hopefully that's correct. I think that needs to go one more that way. Okay, and how many is that to the edge? That's 3 to the edge. Now, do we want a 1 block center, or do we want a 2, or like, do we want a, yeah, double or single? I think we want single so that we can have like a 3 by 3 hole in the middle, is what I'm thinking. Although that's not going to work because it's a 2 center here. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it 1 more in, like that. Okay, so this is just going to be the leg, as you can see in the image. It obviously has like the 4 legs, so this extends, I would say, about halfway, so maybe 24. I know that's not halfway, but it's close enough to halfway. Does that need to come in 1 more? I would say probably. We can do this, so that's 4. And then we can do this, which is 4. Perfect. Then we can just duplicate the legs. Boom. And is that correct on this end? So that's 4. Nope, that's more than 4. That's 3. Interesting. Are these ones? Those are 4. Okay. So these two just need to come 1 more in. Okay, perfect. Then we just need to have like a cylinder thing. Now, as I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this, because quite frankly, we can't have a square spinning inside of a square. That just doesn't make sense. The best we could probably do is we could have a something like possibly a hexadecigon, maybe. Let's try this. If we do this, something like this, but we want it rotated the other way around. So let's generate shape and select the axis. So I think we want the Z, no, Y would be correct, I think. Yes. So effectively this, let's just center that pivot point so that we can move it where we actually want it. Okay. And then we can determine what size we want once we've done that. So it needs to go 1 more this way. Okay, so that would be perfectly center. I think I want it smaller than that though. What we can do is we can do CEM template loader, and we can go through the entities here, and we can try and find a player entity. There isn't going to be one, so we'll just use maybe a zombie. Is there just a normal zombie somewhere? This is a giant. I don't want a giant. Am I blind, guys? Is there no zombie? I feel like I'm blind. Drowned. Custom. Legacy. Unsupported. There's a zombie on the bottom. Oh, yes. Why is it all the way at the bottom? Okay, whatever. Yeah, so we will just want a zombie. That loads it as a new model. That's a pain in the butt, isn't it? Well, let's group these together. And then I'm gonna just take them, and hopefully it will let me do this. Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted, because now we can get a kind of reference point for how big this thing's going to be, right? Oh, it's alphabetical. To be honest, I didn't even look at the order that it was in. I was just like, why is it in this order? But yeah, that makes more sense. We're not going to be able to resize these up. We can. Perfect. Okay. So something like this is fine. I don't know exactly how tall we want this to be. So what's this currently at? That's at 26. We need to be careful that we're not going like too high, right? So if that's 26 and that's 13 up, that is 39 high. So that's a block and a bit. No, 2 blocks and a bit. So we're already kind of pushing limits a little bit. But we can go a little bit higher still. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to have it here, at least not without having this much lower down. Or yeah, but I can have it like here. Oops. Let's get rid of this stupid little zombie thing. And maybe move it down a little bit. Because although in the diagram, yeah, actually, in fact, you can see in the diagram, the little legs here, they don't actually come up to the bottom of it. They come up to a bar that's about in the middle. So we do really want to move this down a little bit, really. So it's like roughly in the middle. I don't know that it needs to be exactly in the middle. In fact, I'm more inclined to have it slightly higher. Intentionally. Okay, I think that's fine. So then we have to find a way. Now this is going to be the hard part. To join these together. I think I'm going to need to make this smaller. If I'm being honest. So how tall is this? This is Y30. Let's remember that. And then delete it. And then we'll go tools, generate shape. And we'll say height depth 48, center point 88. So what is value? That's the diameter. I see. So maybe we want like, what's the middle between the middle of 48 and 32? That would be like what, 40? Because that's 8 either side. So if we do 40, that might actually be too small. But oh, it's reset the thing again. Tools, generate shape, Y40. Okay. Let's move this to the center and just see how this is going to be too small, I think. Yeah. It's a little bit too small. Not hugely too small though, so I'm thinking maybe like 44. Yeah, that looks about right. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the border width to be like 4. Hopefully that changes it inwards, not outwards though. Otherwise that would not really work. Is that in the middle? Yes, that is in the middle. Okay, and then let's make the height of them 30. And then move it up a little bit, like that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tools, generate shape. And this time it's going to be 48. It's going to be on the y-axis. And then I think the border is going to be like 2. I think. It might be better off being just 1. But I don't know, we'll see. Because basically what I want, and this is pretty close, but what I want is something like there. Now what we will have to do is we will have to move these inwards a little bit, but that's fine. I'm wondering if I'd maybe prefer this doesn't have such a big border width. If we're looking at the reference image, they have a little bit of a gap, but I don't think that matters too much. I mean, we're not aiming for a perfect replica of the diagram, right? So that is one thing to keep in mind. We're not aiming for a perfect replica. But I think some kind of gap would be nice, because otherwise it looks a bit weird, doesn't it? So let's do, once again, tools, generate shape. Let's go 44, y-axis. Height is 30. Confirm. And maybe a border width of 3. We just want some gap. Would be nice. Center pivot. Boom. Boom. Move it up to, I don't know, about there maybe, and that leaves no gap. Damn it, I thought that would leave a gap, but it must have gone the other way round. It must be it's going inwards, which is a pain. Huh. Okay. Let's try again. Tools, generate shape. What if I do 43? Is that gonna break everything? I think I'll just do 42. Just to hopefully not break everything. And actually, let's set the center point as well, so we don't have to do that every single time, because that's kind of annoying. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. I probably should have set the Y position a little bit higher, but that's fine. So we're looking for something like this. Should we center this band? No, we don't want to center the band, because the band actually needs to be a little bit lower down. It needs to be there. The band actually is centered in the model, now that I look at it. And the other thing is that in the model, I think there's actually 3 of these, not 4 of them. Right? I think it's like, there would be one like here. Right? One here. And then there'll be one here. I do actually want it though the other way round. Right, I want this to be the front. And then duplicate. Center that. So hopefully that's along the center line, which it is. Move it there. Boom, boom, boom. That doesn't line up though. Okay. I think that's fine, because I think what we could do is we can vertex snap maybe this one to there. That's not what I meant. That is admittedly not what I meant. I was hoping it would also rotate it. Is there a way to do that or no? Align along. What am I doing? And what am I doing wrong? Guys, how do I... In the reference, is the space between the legs the same, like angle-wise? I don't know. You can just rotate it with the same angle? Yeah, I can, but I was hoping it would do that for me. But yes, I can do that. Like that. Yeah, there you go. Like that. Okay, and then if I can do the same thing here. So I can do, this will be what, -45? Yeah. So then I can vertex snap this one to there. Are these rotated? Or is this it? Wait. Oh, that rotated it. 1 second. I didn't want to do that. But it's because I changed it, didn't I? I changed this to rotate. I wanted to change it to move. So that one moves to there rather than rotating it to there. I see. I see what that does. Okay. Perfect. And hopefully this is centered. I think it probably is. I'm wondering if these should move like to here or not. Or is this? Wait, this one's rotated too. Let's not do that, please. 0, 0, 45. And then vertex snap this one to there. But what I was thinking is maybe it would be better off like there. Like that. What do we think? I think that's better. That's fine, I think. What we do want to do, of course, is connect the outer ring and this one. How is that connected in the diagram? We can't actually... Oh, I see. There's like a weird like plate thing. I'm probably not going to connect it like that. I'm probably just gonna... Although it probably does that for a reason, doesn't it? Probably like vibrations or something. Hello Shiro JR, welcome to the stream. Rep Z fighting. Yeah, that is kind of the... Well, no, the Z fighting should be fine because on the outer sides there isn't going to be any. It's only going to be... I don't think there'll be any on the inside either, right? It is just going to be the top and the bottom. And I mean, if I wanted to fix that, I could go through each of these and alternate. So I could do like, I could do 24.001, Then for this one, I could do .001, and then .001, 001, and 001, and 0, oops, not like that, 001, and 001, and that is that all of them? No, we need to do this one. Oh, that's gonna, oh no, never mind, that's fine. Like that. So now there should be no Z fighting at all, which is great. Albeit it does look a little bit weird because now obviously they're overlapping like this. Which is a shame, but we'll figure something out. I need to also do that with all of these ones, but I can't bother to do that right now. So the next thing we need to do is have a little like thing. As you can see on the diagram, there's like the little, I'm gonna call them dampeners, but I actually don't know what they are. That's what I'm guessing they are. And I'm guessing that's to dampen the vibrations, but I am no engineer, so I could be completely incorrect. I'm not going to put too much thought into it. I'm just going to have a little thing there, and I'm going to have a little thing there. Let's make sure we put them in there. And I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename this to the outer ring. And then this will be the, like, I'm going to call it the, like, ring body or something. I think that's pretty obvious what that is. This will just be a reference player. We'll delete that afterwards, that's fine. We don't care about that. Okay, and then above these, I just want to have, let's group these real quick. Group elements. These are the dampeners. I'm not sure if that's how you spell dampeners. Dampeners. Yep, that is how you spell them. Good. I don't know if that's what they're for, but that's what we're going to say they're for, because that makes sense in my head. So, hello Ilya, welcome to the stream. I'm going to duplicate the dampeners, and I'm just going to call this connecting underscore plate, or not underscore because we don't want underscore in the code. And we're going to move these up. We are going to scale them down. We are going to 1, 2, 1, 2, widen them out. And then this one I'm going to pull in. This one I'm going to pull in. And boom, they are now connected as they should be. Is there a gap? There's a little gap there. How has that happened? Oh, I guess because this is bigger, right? Because this one's bigger. Yeah, that makes sense. So these aren't going to be, like, these are not the same size because, yeah, okay, of course. It would, I'm wondering if there's one on the back as well. Or, yeah, on the back. I wonder if there's one here. I would say probably, so I'm going to put one there as well. Let's duplicate this for simplicity's sake. And like that. And then we go, what is it, 1, 2, I think? And then we'll just do a marker color light blue, not light blue, marker color blue. And then duplicate. You're making those for 1.21.4, right? No, this is for 1.21. I don't know. 5, 6, maybe. Should we have a look? 5 right now. We do need to update it to 7. No, 8. What's the current version? I don't even know what the current version is anymore. I'm losing track at this point. Is it 9? Or is 9 not released yet? I know we're getting snapshots for one of them. I don't know if that's 9 or if that's 10. Or if that's 8. No, it's not 8. We have 8, right? I can't friggin' find... Am I being dumb? This. But where's the friggin'... not. Latest Minecraft version. Okay, 1.21.8. So yeah, at some point I'll probably update this to 1.21.8. Yeah, we will do that at some point. Possibly today, maybe, because after we've done this, I don't really know what we're going to do next. So, that's probably, yeah, going to be the next thing. You do have oil/fuel production in the mod, right? Kind of. That's something I need to work on, because I need to work on the heat system so that we can have the what's it called? The big tool thing. The fractional distillation, that's it. I need to work on heat so that we can get that to work, because the heat doesn't really work properly. I might want to add compat for my boat engine, maybe, if that's the case. Well, what I'm planning to do is, or what I will do, is I will add fluid tags to them. So, assuming your mod uses fluid tags, it would be fine, probably. That's the plan. So, that's what I'm gonna do. Anyways, let's go to the next thing. Here's where things are going to get a little bit complicated, because I don't understand the engineering of this thing. Funnily enough, I'm not an engineer. So this is where things are going to get a little bit messy. We need to figure out what the hell is actually going on in this machine. There's some kind of like flywheel down there for something, I guess. I've got a boat engine mod, but having fuel processing feature feels kind of out of scope for it. Not sure what the best way to bridge that gap is. Yeah, that is... Yeah, that's an interesting one. I would probably... I don't know. I would add some kind of like... I don't know. Probably if I was doing that, if I was developing a mod that had like an engine, but I didn't want to add fuel processing, I'd add some like vanilla way to get it. So I'd think like I don't know, it's a stupid recipe, but what I would do is I would have something like you put maybe you put like a nautilus shell in a furnace, and it gives you a bucket of oil. It doesn't really make sense, but it like just makes sense enough that like it could work, maybe. That's probably what I would do personally, or something like that. Not necessarily nautilus shells. That's just the first one that came to mind, because like fossils and shit, right? But something like that. Okay. Anyways. I think we need another circle so that we can do this flywheel thing, which I still don't really understand what it's for, but we'll figure that out in a second. So we're gonna say it has a diameter of like yes, why they did add fossils, but they're just bone blocks. I mean, I guess you could use bone blocks, but that, I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. I would probably stick with Nautilus shells since they're rarer. I don't know. Like, bone blocks are pretty easy to come by. I mean, it's just 9 bone meal after all, so yeah, also you got the archaeology stuff, but that's not really like fossils. It's like, you know, what do I want the diameter to be here? Maybe like 12. I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably about 12. We could do like an octagon instead, and then we want the height to be like 4, maybe. Border radius, we'll go 1. Okay, maybe an octagon was not a good idea. Actually, I think the octagon's probably fine. I think this is just too big. Like too, yeah, too big, to be honest. Yeah, that's too big. Let's generate shape. Y. Let's go 2 for that, and then for the value we'll go like 8. That's too round. Because that is no longer a octagon, which is what I asked it for, but for some reason it doesn't save that, which is annoying. But here we go. Something like this is what I'm thinking, and then maybe I'm gonna need some way to like do a thing from like this. Let's go ahead and, oh look, that is actually perfect. Yeah, this needs to move to be 0.5. Never mind, negative 0.5. And then all I have to do is scale it up. Boom, boom. Let's duplicate. And we can't rotate it, can we? I don't think we can rotate it. What do I want to do? Because it needs to be like in the middle here. So if I want to move it this way, that needs to be negative 0.5. And then like this. And because of this, this is now broken, so that needs to be like that. And then we can do that. Boom. And then effectively, all I need to do is duplicate. I'm going to have to rotate it anyways, aren't I? Because I want to do that. And then I'm going to duplicate this one. Center. Make sure it's centered, and then do that. Perfect. It's very Z-fighty, but that's fine. Actually, I'll quickly go ahead and fix that. So this is going to be 0.001, 0.001, 0.001, 0.001, and then do I need to do this one? No, because that's fine. I just need to do these ones, so we need to do 0.001 and Oh, this isn't gonna work though, is it? If they're going to be the same color, then you don't need to fix the Z fighting. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if they're going to be the same color because I don't plan on texturing them. Because I'm not good enough at texturing for these things. So they might be the same color, but they also might not be the same color. So I don't know whether they're going to be the same color or not. But even if there's like a pixel difference, it's going to look shit, right? So that's kind of... I mean, there's no harm in doing this anyways, right? I mean, that's done, right? That's all... That's completed. I'm going to call this a flywheel, but I don't know if it is a flywheel. It just looks like one. So we're going to assume that's what it is. Then I have no idea how this connects to the entire thing. I guess through the big shaft in the middle, right? So we'll add a cube, scroll up to there. Hopefully that is centered. It looks to be. And boom. Fabric does not provide an energy system, unfortunately. We have to use reborn energy. But that's fine because you don't actually have to install it as a player. It's just a compile dependency. It's not a compile dependency. Yeah, it's one that you don't have to do that for anyways. Why do you have to set it up as a modded entity when it's a block? Because it has it's going to have special rendering stuff. The reason it's a modded entity though is because we can't make a Java model that's not an entity model, or at least by default. In Blockbench you can't do that. Someone needs to make a plugin to do that because it's a pain in the butt having to convert it every single time. But yeah, it is what it is, right? We stick with what we have. This is really hard to model. I'm gonna get rid of this like that so that I can see what the hell is going on here, because in fact I'm even gonna get rid of the outer ring, I think, so I can see. Actually I need the outer ring because I need to know kind of what's happening. Okay, so this is like the little shaft thing. And this, for some reason, comes out the bottom. I don't know what the hell it does out the bottom. But here we go. There is a little thing out the bottom. It's much smaller at the bottom though, so we'll make it a 1x1. And then we'll just move it. So can I move it by... Yes, I can. Perfect. Okay. And just to, I don't know, add some pizzazz to it, I will duplicate, I will rotate, and I'm going to rotate it like 45 degrees. And then I'm going to vertex snap this to that. And then I'm going to just scale it down a little bit. And then, I don't know, it's like what it is in the reference. I don't know what that does, but it's there. So maybe it's like... Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not even going to try and guess because I don't know. I am going to do a very small thing, and that is just add like a little thing. I don't even know. There you go. Perfect. So this is the shaft thing. Then we want the very complex system here that comes after. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this that's not gonna look shit. Well, I kind of wish I was using OBJ models, because I think then I could have some much easier things, right? I could have better shapes, even though it wouldn't be as Minecrafty. Kind of like what immersive engineering does, right? The models still look Minecrafty-esque, but they're OBJ models, so that they can have like certain faces be at certain angles and triangles and shit. So we'll have to somehow settle without that, because I'm not going to start doing that now. Let's move these parts. So these are like the group elements. I'm just going to call this the shaft. There we go. I'm thinking I'm probably going to move the shaft actually inside of the flywheel, so that if I want to rotate the flywheel, then it will also rotate the shaft. I think that's reasonable to do. Do I need this to be in its own group? I think maybe. I'm not sure. Blockbench might handle that for me. Did the YouTube chat on stream stop? No, it's fine, I think. At least it looks fine in OBS. Let me have a look. I will go to the stream. No, it looks fine for me. I'm not sure what the problem is, because it's fine for me. Okay, next. Let's go ahead and create the like base. Yeah, we need to figure this out. So we need to somehow have a rotating thing inside of a rotating thing, or inside of a non-rotating thing. Obviously, in the reference image, you can see that the internal like cylinder shape thing is, well, a cylinder. But we obviously can't do that, so we need to figure out a way. I think probably using these, what we've done here, is going to be the best way to do that. So let's go ahead and build off a thing. How many is that? That's 8. So we'll do 8, and then we'll do 8 and 8. So that gives us a cube. Let's bring back the ring body so I can see how big that cube is. We're gonna need to move this down like this. Well, actually, no, we don't. We just need to move this down, because that needs to be there, like that. Somehow, as well, we're going to have to connect the bottom to this. I don't know how the hell we're going to do that. I know what we can do. I know what we can do. We can generate a shape. We can go 42, and then make it not hollow on the y-axis. 42 might be too big. Not sure. Kind of. It needs to be 40, I think. Generate shape. Y 40. Nope. It needs to be 38. There you go. So if we just move that down, that's still too big actually, isn't it? It is. That is still too big. 36, I guess. Yep, there you go. Now, obviously that looks shit. But that's fine because we can just move each of these up a little bit. So we can do 0, 0, 1. We can do 0.002. We can do no, we can do 13.999. We can do 13.998. We can do 14.003. And we can do 13.997. And this one as well, apparently. We can do 14.004. Now, which one's Z fighting? Is there any of them Z fighting? That's fine. This is going to look shit when it's textured either way, isn't it? That would be another benefit of using an OBJ model, because we wouldn't have this problem. Kind of what I guess what we could do to kind of fix this, actually, or at least not make it a problem anymore, would be to just have a cube and have the cube cover up like most of this center stuff, right? Because it's just really this center stuff that looks dog shit. So, you know, if I had a cube to like here, right? I mean, that's not really gonna work. I mean, I could do that, right? I could just have a cube that comes to like there, and then create another cube that fills there to there, and another one to there, and another one to there. It's tempting. It would probably be, well, it would be more cubes, realistically. Should we do that instead, actually? I think we'll do that instead. Right, so move this down to there. And then let's try and fit as much in here as we can without it going over the edges. So can it go this way at all? No. We're at the limits right there. So then I can duplicate, move it this way. And let's see. Can I go? Ooh, okay. Oh, that's fine, actually. So then we can go this way again. I just need to move it in by 2. And hopefully that hasn't left any gap there. Perfect, it hasn't. So that means all I have to do is duplicate this, put it on the other side, like that, and then I just have to do the same here. So duplicate, and then oops, resize like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, duplicate, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Did I do something wrong? I'm confused. How does that one only require 1, but this one required 2? Or did it require 2? Yeah, it does. How is that possible? I don't know. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Let's see what this side requires. Nope, that one is fine with 1 as well. How weird. How very, very weird. That means that actually it can be way smaller as well. I can only go to... is that left a little gap or not? Nope, that's perfectly fine actually. So that can go to there. That's a much smaller cube. Or rectangle, I should say, because it's not really a cube. There we go. Boom, and there's no Z fighting, which is a win-win. The only Z fighting is at the bottom here, but that's fine because what we can do is we can just move this up a little bit, right? So, but 0, 0, 1, which fixes all of the Z fighting there. Obviously, these are still Z fighting, but we can fix these later. Let's group elements. Let's call this the base. I don't know. Cylinder base, and put it in there. Okay. That was the easy part. Now we need some way. The thing is, we still kind of need like this dipped section. I can't show you what my mouse is looking at, unfortunately. Yeah, you can't see my mouse. But like how in the middle, how it's dipped. Wait, I can make the image a little bit bigger at least, and then I still can't show you with my mouse, but like, you see, I wonder if there's a way to move my cursor on top of it. I don't think so. Interact. Okay, I'm interacting. Can you see my mouse now? No, I don't know what that does then. Oh, look, I can actually do this. I don't actually know if that worked. Never mind. Never mind. Either way, you guys can see what I mean. The little thing in the middle. So let's figure out a way to do that. That's not the one I wanted to move. I wanted to move the other one. This one. Because basically what I want, right, is I want, let's have like a 4 4 4 4. Right. What I want is, let's have this at like, Fabric Discord just had a moderator announcement. What does that mean? Moderator messages. Interesting. Damn. I mean, that's not entirely surprising. I'm not particularly surprised that something like that's happening. Okay, let's do this. Basically what I want is something like this. And then duplicate, and then do 45. And then vertex snap. This one to, not to there. This one to there. And then duplicate. I don't know if I can rotate or not without it breaking something. Yeah, I can't because that just breaks it, unfortunately. I can just duplicate this one, and I can do rotation X 45, I think. Vertex snap the, wait, is it this one? To there. Hello, Double Bagel. Welcome to the stream. Something like this, basically. And then duplicate, and then change this to negative 45. Vertex snap the, that one to there. I'm gonna need to make these smaller though, so like that. And like that. Like that. I don't know if this is gonna work, by the way. But then basically what I'm thinking is I duplicate, and then 45 is fine, but I think I want, would it be 22.5 on the Y? Or, no, negative 22.5? Maybe not on the Y. Yeah, that's not correct, is it? It's not going to be like this, though, is it? No. How can I do what I want to do here? It's definitely not like this, because that's the angle there. I want to change the, like, rotation. I guess I want to change it in the parent space, don't I? So do like 22.5 like that. And then somehow vertex snap this. And that doesn't really work, does it? but is that because this is too big? Is what I'm trying to do even possible? Does anyone know if what I'm trying to do is possible? Okay, what if I want a vertex snap like this to that? So that works, right? So can I not just move this down now? Like that? I think that's worked. That's worked. I mean, it's a little bit weird. Like, it's not perfect. What I can do to kind of fix that, right, is make these the same size. So it's 8.5. So if I make this exactly that same size, and then vertex snap this to there, and then move it down, right? Make this that same size, so like that. Vertex snap this to there, move it down. Oh, not that. Move this down. And then this is kind of going to do what I want it to do. So can I just, now that I've done that, can I now just rotate it 22.5? And then vertex snap it? Wait, did I not duplicate? I swear to God I duplicated. Apparently not, I guess. Yeah, I didn't, apparently. Okay. I must have imagined it. Rotate. That hasn't centered the pivot, has it? What the hell? Okay, that's fine. Let's go this way then. Not like that, like that. And then vertex. This is going to take a while, by the way, guys. just so you guys have a little bit of a heads up. This is going to take a hot minute. And there we go. Duplicate. Rotate. 22.5. Vertex snap. Boom, boom. And move down. And let's duplicate. Let's rotate. 22.5. Vertex snap. And move it down. Just set the pivot XYZ to where the bottom is. I guess that would work, yeah. Would that work? Let's try. So if I duplicate this, and then pivot tool, move the pivot to 0, 0, 0. I don't think this is going to work, but we can try. That should be the correct place. And then like this. Oh, wait. I've got to get it in the right position first, don't I? Because otherwise that's not going to work. Let me do it. There you go. So now it's in, let's get it in the right position. And then I can set the pivot. So I can do pivot tool, or I'll just do it like this. But I don't want the position to change when I move the pivot. Because the problem is, moving the pivot will change the position, which I don't want. Yeah, and that moves the pivot again, which I don't want it to do. I don't think there's a way to do that. I think that was in theory a good idea, but it doesn't work. Effects, use the adjust pivot tool whilst ensuring. I don't understand. Right, so let's get it here, right? And then I want to change the pivot to 0, 0, 0. Right? So I do 0, 0, 0. But when I try to vertex snap it, yeah, you can't, this is impossible. You can't do that. Because as soon as I vertex snap, that pivot point's going to change. And then I can't change this without it moving the model. Unless I can... No, that's not going to be a thing. What is add null object? And why would I want that? I don't know. Anyways, I'm sidetracked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't do this. But that's fine. Not a problem. Because we can just manually do this. It's just gonna take a little while. That's all. $22.5, and then vertex snap. Boom. Move it down. Duplicate. Rotate. Vertex snap. Move it down. We're getting there. It's just taken a while. That's all. So once again, duplicate. Rotate. Vertex snap. Move it down. Duplicate. Rotate. Vertex snap. Move it down. Okay, we're almost, we're just over halfway. I'm sure there is a better way of doing this. I don't know what just happened. I need to do that. There we go. Someone should make a plugin that can do this for me. Just like the generate shape plugin. Because that would be, it probably would be quicker to just write code that does this for me. But here we are. This might not even look good, by the way, guys. I hope you're ready for this. Okay. Rotate 22.5. Vertex snap. Move. Duplicate again. Rotate. Vertex snap. Move. Duplicate 2 more. We're almost there. 22.5. Snap that vertex. Duplicate. Rotate. Vertex snap. Boom. Perfect. Now it's really hard to tell what this actually looks like without a genuine texture in here, which, by the way, texturing is going to be a pain in the butt. I'm not ready for that. I wonder if there's a way to resize any of these without having a gap. No, it has to be exactly that size. Okay. Okay. Let's do a few things here to make everything easier to see. So I'm going to change the marker color of this to orange. I'm going to change the marker color of this to yellow. I'm going to change the marker color of the flywheel to red, and then the marker color of the shaft to purple. Like that. Now all of these, I'm going to set the marker color to blue. No, I can't set it to blue because I already have it as blue, so it needs to be green. And then I'm going to group elements. And I'm going to rename this to the... I don't know what to call it. Bowl. Let's call it the bowl. And move that inside of the main. So if we just move the bowl out, we can check that this is all the correct pieces. Wow, that is a messy thing at the bottom, huh? But none of them can go, like, up at all, can they? Oh, they actually can. They can be a little bit smaller. They can all go up. 1? Yeah. So, I think I can just do... what was the one I did? I already did that one, didn't I? I assume not that one. That one? Nope. That one. Yes. Wait, that hasn't worked, has it? This one needs to go down. but the rest it all worked. So I guess that's made them like a little bit smaller, but it's minimal. Okay. Now, question. Very important question at that. Well, first of all, I need to find out, this, here you go. I need to move it down. Like that. Now, second question. What happens when I rotate this? So let's center pivot. Okay, that might actually be fine. There's no gap there, is there? Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Perfect, chat. So we can just rotate it. And it's going to go very fast. It's going to go like this. So it'll be craziness. It'll be absolute madness. Okay, that's good. That's great. So now we have a rotating part, which is basically what we wanted. Okay. Why does this have Y rotation? Isn't this not meant to have Y rotation? Yes. Correct. Let's make sure that pivot is centered though. And actually I'm going to do that for all of these because they all need to have the pivot centered on them. Just because it might break if they do not. So connecting plate. Why is this one so weird? Oh right, because it's got a piece over there. That's fine. Dampeners, center those. Okay. Let me just group the legs as well. Group elements. Legs. Thank you, Wide. Much appreciated. Thank you for the heart reaction. So I could just see you there spamming the heart reactions. Okay, so now that's done. We do kind of need a way for the fluid to exit. Or for the stuff to exit. Now, luckily, I think the way this basically works is that this middle piece, we can do something like this. And then move it up a little bit. So like 1, 2. And then basically using that gap that's left, it will funnel the output out into, you know, whatever. Now, in theory, there should be like, as you can see in the diagram, there's like little, like, gutters, not gutters, indents, I don't know, on this thing. I can't model that, not without pain and suffering, so we're gonna not do that, but we do need to actually, let me do this real quick again. Yeah, so now you can see there's a little bit of a gap here, which is what we wanted. This shaft does need to connect to this piece. So like that. Cylinder base, let me just hide that for a second so I can see exactly what's going on. So that's connected to that, which is what we want. So this doesn't rotate Oh no, I guess it can. It can rotate, right? So if I rotate the bowl, there's no reason why that can't rotate. It's a little bit weird, but it's fine, I think. Obviously, ideally that would be circular, but it's not, so that's fine. I mean, actually, I could make it circular, couldn't I? What is it? It's 6 by 6 by 2. So if I do tools, generate shape, 6, height 2, Y, not hollow, move it up, and I think I need to move it up a little bit more, don't I? No, that was fine. That needs to move inside the bowl like that, and then this is like the, I don't know, the I have no idea what this would be called. I'm just gonna call it the drain. That's not really what it is, but also this shaft probably shouldn't connect to that, because that's not the point of this, I don't think. I think it's meant to like connect to there, but we'll figure that out in a second. So let's create a new cube, because we need like this whole like gutter thing. So we want something like this. Boom. 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 I don't know exactly how to do this, to be honest. I'm confused. I feel like something is slightly off. Can you guys see it? Like, I don't know what it is, but something is slightly off. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. I hope it's not, because I don't want to have to redo the whole thing. Anyways, let's do that. Okay, and then basically we want that on this side. This isn't gonna be technically accurate or anything, but I think this will be good enough. So basically it will just output to one side. Obviously this doesn't make any sense. I can't do that, can I? No. Damn it. I was hoping I could. That's fine. I can do this, right? Or even like this, I think. And then duplicate. And then do that. Yeah. That's all I needed to know. So there you go. Let's just check that we can still spin the bowl without it doing weird shit, because that's kind of important. Yep, all good. Okay. Fantastic. All of these are going to be part of the drain. The drain, yeah, that doesn't actually. This isn't going to make any sense. Wait, this is all above the thing, though, right? This is all above this. So actually it's fine, because no one's ever going to see this. So we can just have this here, and... I mean, this actually doesn't even need to be here, but... that's fine. So we can just put that in there. And the drain itself doesn't need to spin, does it? So all that needs to spin is this outer bowl, like this. Yeah, so this doesn't even need to be here. Well, I'm going to keep it there, though, because just purely so that you can see it down here. But other than that, it doesn't need to be there. Let's add everything back so that we can see how that looks. Okay. So obviously there's still no like actual output for it. So we need to do that. And then we need to have an input like funnel at the top as well. But yeah, that'll be it. Once that's done. I'm thinking instead of having it being an open top, maybe I'll have like a glass top instead. Because I obviously want you to be able to see it spin. But maybe having an open top isn't a good idea, because that just doesn't make sense. That wouldn't work, right? So I think that's probably what I'll do. It'll have a glass top. So let's hide some things so that we can continue with this. So we want to get rid of the body. We want to get rid of the base. Well, actually, we're going to need the base because we need to know where to output it, right? So, actually, no, we don't. No, we actually don't need the base. So, let's duplicate this. We're not going to care about this too much since this is all kind of like internal. But yeah, we want basically this. Move it this way. Let's get that outer body back open. I think basically I just want it to come out like here. So, like that. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to duplicate. And like that. So in actual fact, we probably don't even want that. We just want that. That'll be fine. And then can I just bring these along without that breaking anything? Ideally, the answer would be yes. Looks like I can. That looks fine, actually. I kind of thought that might break everything, but that looks okay. Let's just duplicate this. Now, what I might do is black this out, so you can't actually, like, see the pipe. I don't know. So there might be no need for this. Here we go. Let's bring it along like that. And scale it like that. So what I was thinking, honestly, is that I might just do like this, and have this be black. There isn't like a black color that you can set it to, but like that, maybe. Just because I think otherwise this is going to be too complicated. I'm going to do that, yeah. Let me get rid of the... not that, this. Because then all I actually have to do is I can keep this how it was previously to there, duplicate it to there, like that. This only needs to go to there, that needs to go to there, that needs to go to there, and then this needs to go to there, duplicate it to there, like that, basically. And then, like, kind of do the same thing here. So it's like that. Because you would never know. So if we add back the body, you'll see it looks completely unchanged. But now we don't have all that weird internal stuff, right? Because that's all hidden down there. I think that's better. There's no like weird complicated stuff. It's just there, which is what we need. We do however need another output. So this would be like the rubbish output, I think. And then there needs to be like an actual output, but we can do that later. We need the input first, which will be in the middle. So let's do, how big is this plate? This is 8 by 8, so let's make it maybe 6. How big are these? Yeah, 6. So if we do tools, generate shape, let's do well, hollow first of all, y-axis, let's do 8, since it's got it's gonna have a width of 2, right? So we do, oh, it actually has a width of 1. Let's do a width of 2. So what I'm thinking, basically, let's get rid of the this again. Something like this. Then we get rid of this. And just so I can see how... yeah, that's fine. So that can go to like here. Or something. And then if we add the bowl back, so it'll be like this. Let's add this back. It doesn't need to be so high up, it needs to be flush with the top, like that. And then yeah, and then my plan is basically just fill this section in. which is going to be a pain to do. I'm probably just going to do what I'm doing down here, I guess. Right, so just duplicate this. Move it up here. Do 41.9999. Let's group these elements and do this as the cylinder roof. Or top, I don't know. Like, oops, not like that. Like that. And then, yeah, effectively that'll be invisible. We do just need to do this, so... Yeah, like that, and then... Let's scale this in. Scale this in. Because we also don't want to cover the hole. That would kind of defeat the entire point, right? So... This is fine. I just need to kind of move it like this way. By 0.001. So that there's not Z fighting with that inner edge there. And then duplicate again. Put it here, but instead do the opposite. So 14.001. Like that. And then I need to fix these corners, of course. So the best way to do that would be to make these one smaller. And then that means I can do that and that. And that'll be fine. Boom. So this is the intake pipe thing. Rename inputs tube. Okay, I think we're pretty much done. There does need to be another output though. Somewhere. I don't really know where. I mean, there's obviously a bunch of other, like, internal stuff, but I don't really care about that. But then there really needs to be another output pipe. I don't know why I made this one on the west side. That's just really annoying, but... Ah, well. Bit late to change that now. I guess I can make the other one on the east side, right? Would be the best option. I think I'm gonna just try and copy this. Like this. I'm gonna let me group these actually and call these the output tube. And then I'm gonna duplicate that and move it over here. I'm gonna rotate it 180. Oops. Oh, also this doesn't need to be 2, does it? Have you animated some of the machines yet? I've animated lots of the machines wide. I'm not sure what you mean. Have you not been paying attention, wide? very unbelievable. Why is this too high as well? That doesn't need to be too high, does it? Nope. Okay, let me get rid of the reference player because we don't need him anymore. Let's get this output tube 2. Let's move it back in there. Let's delete that, and then I'm just gonna copy these. How many more do you plan on adding? A lot. I don't have everything planned out, right? So I don't have all the machines planned out. But I kind of know roughly what machines are going to need to be added. And there's quite a lot. I mean, for example, if I do nuclear, which I do want to do at some point, that's going to require a lot of machines, like, just for that, right? So yeah, there's a lot to do still. And this, by the way, all these machines that I've done so far, at least recently on streams, have been for processing aluminium and processing tin. That's it. Right? Now, luckily, a lot of these machines are going to be reusable, right? For like other ones, right? So it's not like they're not just for those two things, but a lot of them are. A lot of machines are specific. Like everything we're doing for tin, pretty much, we're going to be doing for, like, this machine here, for example. This is going to be used for a bunch of things. This is going to be used for gold. It's going to be used for tungsten, I think, is another one. Don't quote me on it, though. I'm not entirely sure exactly which ones use this, but quite a lot do. Same with the previous one that we did. What was the previous machine we did? The shaking table. That's it. That one as well. Do you have like a document which has the process you plan on doing? No, I do not. It's all in my head. Every time I've tried to write like a document for it, it has just not gone well. It's just turned out to be some thing that doesn't work. So I've given up doing that. And I'm just keeping it in my head instead. Which is maybe worse, maybe better, depends on how you look at it. Actually, it probably doesn't depend on how you look at it. I think it's probably worse either way, but still. How tall is this entire thing? I probably should have measured it a while ago. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's not 48. 48 would be here, but it's pretty close to the top. Of course it's in your head. What do you mean? What do you mean, of course? I'm pretty good at keeping track of things in my head. Like, in terms of, like, plans I have for things. And usually when I try to write them down, they end up worse. And it just takes longer. But I'm not forgetful. I have a pretty good memory for... no, I have a good memory for things I care about. Things I don't care about, I don't remember, like, whatsoever. And I will never remember them. Anyways, I think we're done. Unless I've forgotten something. I don't think I've forgotten anything, though. Have I? I mean, this isn't perfectly accurate. But I never said I was gonna pay you to edit the video. You volunteered to edit it. I told you, I warned you, it would take ages. I am not taking any responsibility for this. Okay, input tube, and it needs to be next to the... Where are the output tubes, man? Wait, where are these? Output tube, here we go. Let's see what parts these are made of. Okay, those are all correct. There you go, output tube. Perfect. I think we're done. I think this looks okay. The only thing I'm not completely happy with, to be honest, is actually just these legs. There's no way they would support a machine like this. The best thing I could do is something like this, right? So just make it like 4x2, 4x2, 1, 2, 4x2, which is a little bit better, but still, like that. These legs are not supporting that, right? What I could maybe do is have something like here, right, and just build a horizontal support. Which I find myself always doing in the end. That's a shame. It just slips over into there. And I think it's the same on this side, isn't it? Yeah. What if I inflate it by negative 0.1 or even 0.05 maybe? 2.5? No, 2.5 just goes over, but 0.05. There you go. I'm happy with that. Now, ideally, though, I need to do the same thing here to here. But that's going to be a pain in the butt angle. I already know it. Okay, what we can try is we can try and move the pivot point to the end is like there, isn't it? Right, so if I rotate like that, and like I need to rotate it a little bit more. Nope, I need to go one more that way. That's gonna go too far across though, isn't it? I guess it won't really matter. Because when I do this one, it'll be fine. So if I duplicate this again, then I move the pivot point to there, and then rotate this by, what was it, 62.5, I think? Is that what it was? Yes. So then if I scale this, and I'm gonna have to move it down a little bit, so like 4.999. That's better. Yeah, it's better. It's still not ideal, if we're being honest. Like, I still don't think that would really help. But, ah well. It's gonna have to do, because I can't really do much about that. Let's do marker color to pink, and then we can change the marker color of some other things. So actually everything else is fine. The only thing is maybe the input tube, set the marker color to like lime maybe, and then that, where is it, the drain needs to have a marker color. We'll do green. I need to fix these so that these all have alternating things. So this needs to be .001. This is .001. This is .001. This is 001. 001. 001. Boom. Boom. And that one's already done. So now the only Z fighting we have... Oh, I should have moved those down. Bugger. Yeah. This is going to have to move down. We'll do 13.999. Ah, shit, that's not going to work. Oh, no. Okay, fine. We'll inflate it by 0.001. Okay, yeah. That's fine. We can do that. Let's just... Are these all... I don't know how many Control Z's I press, I'm gonna be honest. Somehow I think I pressed enough though, so I'll take it. Anyway, this needs to inflate by 0.001. This needs to inflate by 0.001. 0.001. 0.001. 0.001. I realize actually now that I could have just selected like this. Nice. So that should all be fine. No Z fighting. The only Z fighting is down here now, and oh, actually also on here. I'm just gonna do this real quick then. Okay, so we need to do position Y .001, and then let's go down to this one. This one is actually not going to quite work like that though, is it? Because if I do this, they're still going to Z-fight in the middle, aren't they? Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad. And to be honest, I'm probably just going to make it a solid color in the middle. So, that'll be fine. Yeah, and nothing else should be Z-fighting. So that should all be good. Let's go ahead and create texture. I really wish I could keep it these colors, but I cannot, so sad times. Ow, I thought that might break it. Yeah. This is the problem with inflating, because it just breaks every single time. Oh, actually, that's not, it's not to do with inflating, is it? It's to do with the sizes. Can you fix that or not? Oh, you can't, can you? Shit. We might be fucked. Can you not make it just round up for the texture size? Keep if two elements already have the same UV spaces. Surely you can, right? Because padding won't help, because the problem is it's within itself. You can't do non-box UV. It has to be box UV. Right? Does it have to be box UV? Yes. That's not... Yeah. Does anyone know if there's a solution? Without redoing the entire model? Because I'm not doing that. I'm gonna try and Google this, but I don't think I'm gonna find anything. Blockbench, round up, generating template text. I'm not gonna find that one. Is power? No, that's not gonna solve it, because that's the size of the texture, isn't it? Okay, new UV arrangement to give every face its own spot on the texture. Yeah. The problem wide is when I create the texture, so some of the parts aren't full integers, right? Well, most of them aren't. These cylinder ones are not. But when I export the texture, it's rounding the size down rather than rounding it up, meaning it's not working. Look, you can see it leaves these weird bits, and like here it's just invisible. I am gonna just leave it for now, to be honest, and I'll come back to it. I'm gonna ask, like, in the Blockbench Discord, after stream, unless anyone has an idea, and then, yeah, we'll come back to it, because there must be a solution. Worst case scenario, I export to OBJ. Or something else, and then maybe that helps, or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's a solution, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, what is this called? This is the Centrifugal Concentrator model. Okay, that's fine. I thought it was going to say it couldn't export. I was going like, no. But it's fine. Yeah, we'll come back to the texture. I don't know for now. For now, we'll just give it a missing texture. But there's a solution. I'm sure there is. I need to do the voxel shape as well, but that's going to be a pain in the butt. That's going to be a real pain in the butt, man. Yeah, we'll come back to that as well. Because nothing in there is... everything's rotated, so that's going to be just real pain in the butt to do. But regardless, IntelliJ, hello. Thank you. Centrifugal Concentrator. Block entity renderer. What a class name. Wow. Implements Industria block entity. Why do I look red? I don't know why I look red. It could be there. No, my PC has red lights, but that's not it, I don't think. I can turn my light on though, and that will make me not look red anymore. If we just give it a second to adapt. There you go. I'm no longer red. Implement methods, yeah. Okay. And we need, I don't know why I did implement, it extends. And this is also generic, isn't it? So centrifugal concentrator block entity. And let's get rid of that as well. Why is this complaining? Oh, probably because I did it before I made it generic. So let's implement the method. Okay. Let's okay. I need to look at how you do this again because no I don't. I think I remember. It's a private final centrifugal blah 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 blah. Model is not equal to anything, and then you set that in here, right? So this dot model is equal a new, yeah, that one. And then doesn't this take in, yes it does. This needs to be layer underscore location, and that is from the model. Of which we need to go ahead and fix because that's going to be broken. And boom. This just becomes model. Get rid of that. Change this to that. Get rid of that. We have a bunch of errors to fix now with these. Hello? Oh, right, because, yeah, this needs to take in super, root, and then render layers. Is it render layers? Get, no, it's render layer. Get, entity, cutouts. There we go. Okay. Have you had a busy day? Not really. I went to a family meetup, met some family members I've never met before. Lots of them, for that matter. But apart from that, I have not really done anything today. Or have I? Did I go out this morning? I don't know. I'm getting my days mixed up, to be honest. So I honestly don't remember what I did today and what I did yesterday. Anyways, I am gonna have to end the stream soon though, because I actually haven't had dinner yet, and I'm kind of hungry. So that's a thing I will have to do. I didn't consider that. Yeah, I know, but I didn't get back home till like 6, and then yeah, and then I had to stream, so you know, I haven't eaten yet. But it's fine. Where is this arrow, bro? Ah, there it is. Found it. Also, some people have dinner very late, so it's like not that abnormal. Granted, it'll probably be 10 by the time I have it, but you know. Okay, we found it. Problem solved. I mean, I don't know why. I think some people have dinner a lot later than you might think. Doesn't Lone Wolf have dinner like really late sometimes? Oh yeah, we don't still need the reference image. That is, we can get rid of that. Okay, so let's do a public static final. What is it? Yeah, that one. Not that one. Is it entity model layer? That's what I was going for originally, but Copilot threw me off. This is not correct. Yeah, it uses a resource location. That's what I thought, man. Trying to trick me into thinking it's working, but so we want centrifugal concentrator, but that's obviously going to be a missing texture, but that's fine. That's how we want it to be. We need to go ahead and register this layer location. Well, actually, we don't need to register this layer location, or at least I don't think we do, but I'm going to do it anyways because I have done it for every single other one, so I'm not about to change that. Plus, doesn't hurt to do it anyways, even if you don't need it. You might need it. I'm not sure. I think someone said once that I don't need it, but who knows? All it is this. And then it just passes in the texture location, right? I think that's it. We need to obviously register the renderer, so we go... why can I not see it? It's not here, is it? No. Am I blind? Oh, yes, I am blind. I can confirm I am completely and utterly blind. That's great. Oh, Copilot had it. Thank you, Copilot. Okay. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to grab the cylinder top. I'm just going to create a method to get that, get cylinder top. And the reason is because I want to do this dot model dot get cylinder top dot hidden is equal true, just so that we can see the inside of the model. So we can see the bowl, right? And I think we can now run it. Should we try? See what happens. We're gonna give it a go. What do you guys think? Do you think it's gonna work? Well, it's kind of a silly question because I'm 99.9% sure it will work, but you never know. It might not work. We'll see either way. It never works first time. It's true, but on very rare occasion. Oh, yep, you are correct. Yes, yes, I knew it. Yeah, okay. I forgot to do this. Let's open block bench. I need to set up the structure. So this is under main. Dampeners is under main. Connecting plate is under main. Outer ring is under main. Input tube is under main. Output tube is under main. Output tube 2 is under main. Ring body is under main. Flywheel is under main. Shaft is under this flywheel. Cylinder base is under main. Cylinder top is under main. Drain is under main. Bowl is under main. Let's restart. I'm pretty sure it should work this time. I'll be very upset if it doesn't. I don't need to do this flywheel, but I don't even need this on any of these, but I just prefer to have it. To be fair, I haven't done this main. I haven't done this main, so never mind. I'm not going to do that. I was trying to keep some consistency, and then I realized I have no consistency. Okay, there we go. And yes, the hidden thing worked as well, which is great. So, should we try rotate it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here. Okay, so let's grab float progress is equal entity. Watch me not have a get progress method. That's great, isn't it? That's fantastic. I'll just put them at the bottom, I guess. So public int get progress, get max progress, and then I also need the RPM as well. It's over get max progress, and then we can do float. No, what is it? It's an int. So int RPM is equal entity dot get recipe RPM. I'm gonna need to keep track of rotation somehow, aren't I? Or am I? I guess not really. I can say model dot let's do this. Float bowl rotation. Wait, what axis is it? It's y-axis, right? Is equal model. Oh my god, this dot model dot. Oh god, friggin' damn it! I forgot to create a getter for the thingy thing. Get bowl. Have you ever used Lombok? It's good API. Yes, I love Lombok. Lombok is my beloved. Yeah, it's great. Which one is the y-axis, chat? Is it? It's not pitch. It's not roll. Is it yaw? I'm trying to think. Man. I'm trying to think for that friggin' airplane diagram. I think it's yaw. I'm not sure. Let me have a look. Pitch, roll, yaw. Images. I'm trying to look for the friggin' plane one. Yeah, it's yaw. Look, this is the. You guys can see that. Kind of, not really, actually. You can't really see it, never mind. Open image. Oh, wow. Oh, it's an SVG. That's interesting. Yeah, there you go. So it is your... Because I knew roll was this one. I wasn't sure which one pitch was. But yeah, pitch being that one makes sense. Because you pitch up and down, right? And you obviously roll like that, so it had to be your, because yeah, that makes sense. So what I can do is I can do, yeah, that basically. Well, no, really, it just needs to be that, and hopefully that just kind of works, I guess. Should we try that? We need to restart, of course, so that we can add these methods and also add this method as well. So we'll restart, but hopefully that just works and then I can go have dinner. That would be great. Chances are it's not going to work that easily, but... Oh, also, guys, I did kind of realize we haven't actually finished the shaking table. Because we haven't rendered the items on it, which we need to do, because otherwise it's just water, which is weird. So we need to do that at some point. That might be a next stream job, though. But yeah, either that or I kidnap Basti and make him do that as well. But he's still got to do the rotary kiln, so probably not a good idea. Yeah, there you go. Wait, is it running though? Oh, it is running. It's hard to tell if it's just rotating really fast or should we see? RPM 500, progress, bow yaw. Yeah, I would say it's probably just rotating too fast, to be honest, isn't it? I mean, this should probably be like, times, times 60 times 20 times tick delta? Is that right? I mean, kind of. Kind of, yes. Obviously the RPM is 500, right? So this is spinning Wait, no. Wait, this is wrong, isn't it? This is per minute. This is revolutions per minute. So I'm doing this the wrong way around. Is it like that then? No. Wait. Per minute, so... It might not be times tick delta. That might have been incorrect. Wait, I'm so confused. If we want per minute, and then we want the number per tick, right? No, we still need the tick delta. We have to have the tick delta. Did you time 20 by tick delta? Oh, maybe. Does it not need to be divided by tick delta though? No. It isn't like that. This can't be right. But I think this is correct though, no? Wait, question. Is this doing 60 divided by 20 or this divided by 60 then divide that by 20? I'm not sure. Should we just make sure? Oh, where's it gone? Oh, it's nan. Chat, it's nan. Either way, that didn't change anything. Oh, progress is not a number. What? How is progress not a number? Probably progress should just be 0. No? Oh, probably because oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, I see. Because these will be 0, so it's doing 0 divided by a number, which is giving not a number. Okay. What's the easiest way to fix that? Float rotation is equal. Yeah, that's not a thing. But that might be like what we want, right? Yeah, we don't care. Well, I guess sure, but like that's not gonna do anything. I think we do want this. Now that I think about it. So what we can do is we can have a render data, and then we can do a public float bowl rotation, and then hello Basti, welcome to the stream. We were just talking about you, funnily enough. I was saying how I might need to kidnap you again. But yes, we are doing animation and maths, and I hate it because I'm terrible at math. But yeah. let's see if this works. I'm not sure this is going to help. Oh, this won't help because I'm not setting the ball rotation. I'm an idiot. I need to do that, right? And then do that. There we go. Let's see if this works. It's probably going to do weird shit. Hey, that actually kind of worked. That's actually worked. Now, granted, that's without the progress, right? This is just using the tick delta, I believe. Yeah, so progress isn't even being used, is it? How can I integrate the progress here? Do I need to times this by progress? I love how that completely breaks it. If you set the rotation to not a number, it just breaks it. Best thing I can do then, I guess, is just say if progress is equals 0 or progress is equal double dot not a number, then basically that, else do this. It doesn't like this because that's a thing apparently. So let's try that. Let's put in some concentrate. Okay, it's speeding up. I don't want it to speed up. I guess that's because I'm multiplying by the progress, right? So if I just don't do that, I think that's what we want, right? We don't need to times it by the progress. It just needs to spin if the progress is not 0. Is the table shaker thing already done, or did you start something new again? It's done, kind of. The thing that's not done is there's no items that render on it, which is why I wanted to kidnap you, so I could get you to do that for me. However, I probably won't kidnap you, Bestie, don't worry. You can see it shakes. Oh, I might kidnap you, actually, because maybe I might try and steal you to do the volume calculation for me, for the water rendering. But in terms of items, I can probably render them, to be honest. That shouldn't be too tricky. I will just probably kidnap you for the volume calculation, of which is not actually that important, but, you know. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with this, right? You're adding rotation each frame. If you want it to depend on progress, just set it equal to what you had before instead of adding. Ah. So basically, do this and then don't do that, is what you're saying? Never mind. I don't think that. I don't think that's what you meant. Unless you mean like add progress? Like, did you mean like this, maybe? That's spinning pretty fast. Oh, that speeds up, like, that's kind of crazy. Anyways, I think this is fine, to be honest. I don't actually want it to depend on the value of progress. It just needs to spin if it's progressing. I mean, ideally there would be some like spin up time and spin down time, but I don't know how the fuck I would do that. I'm not good enough at maths for that, I don't think. The problem here is that we're using the tick delta. So if I'm really far away, or if I look at it from a different angle, it's going to spin faster or slower, like depending on how I look at it, because my frame rate's going to change, right? If I'm over here and I look at it, it should spin faster than if I'm looking over here, because my frame rate should be lower. I think that's probably a slight problem. Also, what the hell is going on here? Oh, it has no energy. Of course. Wait, why does it have no energy? It should have energy. It should have some energy. Yeah, there you go. That was weird. I don't know why it didn't have energy. There's definitely something wrong with the cables. Which I need to figure out at some point. Apply an easing function to the progress and use that. Basti, you're talking to the wrong guy. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to do that. This is why I need to kidnap you, you see? And I need to have you as my resident math guy so that you can figure this stuff out for me. Are you planning on custom pipes? I hope this answers your question. Your payment is 14 euros an hour. Damn. Maybe I'll just settle on kidnapping you. That might be better. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Next time we'll do some item rendering. To get, you know, items in here, right? Actually, like, getting concentrated. And then we'll do the same with the shaking table as well. And there was something else we wanted to do, right? What was the other thing we wanted to do? I don't know what the other thing we wanted to do was. Oh, yes, I'm going to ask in the Blockbench Discord how I can fix the texture thing. I don't know how to do that. I'm completely clueless, to be honest. So I will be asking. Yeah, I'm going to end it here because I need to go have dinner. So yeah, I will see you all in the next stream, or actually the next video, because there'll be a tutorial releasing tomorrow. And yeah, I will see you all then. Goodbye.